Is Gear 5th Luffy planet level? Potentially yes, but I lean towards no, because it entirely depends on what the basis of the claim is. And most of the time, it's absolute bullshit. Hello Internet, Jojo here, and I want to talk about why Gear 5th might not be planet level. Because if you've been in the power scaling sphere since Gear 5th kind of came out, you've probably seen so many different claims about Luffy's power. He has Toon Force, so he's universal. He's the sun god, so he's sun powered. These crazy things that, despite me wanting them to be true, well, I just cannot believe them because they don't make sense. They are bad faith arguments. But the one major claim I want to go against today is that Luffy is planet level. Now, like I said, it's possible, but it depends on the claim. And most claims I've seen that hold this is it's because Luffy has Toon Force. That's no. I mean, no. Toon Force is not a measurement of power. It is a measurement of precision. There are characters who can destroy the universe with Toon Force, true, and there are characters who can destroy the universe without Toon Force. Destroying the universe, destroying a planet, any destruction, offensive potential ability is not from the skill that is used to do it. It is simply the magnitude of the skill that is being used, right? I can punch someone and it not even break their skin. Goku can punch someone and it shatter a planet. It is not the fact that we both can punch, it is that the magnitude of our skills are different. So if Toon Force is the only reasonable argument for Luffy being a planet buster or a star buster or a universe buster, that is false. That cannot be. It is not. No. Denied. But it doesn't have to be that way. There are plenty of other feats and skills and characters that you can bring in with your argument for Luffy being planet level or anything above or lower or whatever. You can bring Patrick Redfield from Unlimited World Red. Patrick Redfield is Emperor level. That's very clear in the story of Unlimited World Red. And he makes multiple, nations. He makes the entirety of Alabasta, an entirely new continent of Alabasta. As far as we're aware, it's the entire thing. He made an entirely new Skypiea and people to go along. It's one of those flashback story arcs. One Piece has a lot of those. They have flashback video games where you go back into previous story arcs and play through them because some villain of the current day is reading your mind, whatever. One Piece has a lot of that. But he also made a sun. Clearly not an actual star like the sun that we orbit around or the one that the One Piece world orbits around. But that is a very impressive feat and can be used to justify levels of power that are quite insane. Next is Top Musica. Top Musica from Film Red. What's that do with red? Huh. Anyway, from Film Red. He is stated to be able to destroy the world. Well, there you go. It's a pretty blatant statement. And yeah, I don't know where else to go with that. It's a pretty blatant statement, and Luffy managed to beat him, or half of him, I guess. But to be honest, he was kind of a cheat character. Maybe Glass Cannon, I'm not sure. But he is stated to be able to destroy the world. And that could also be used as logic for Luffy being planet level. Whitebeard is also said to be able to destroy the world. Now, whether you want to take that as literal or figurative, that's up to you. You can compile that with these other two characters we mentioned and justify Luffy being planet level. The Mother of Flame. We don't really know what that is, but it's really weird and wild. It could end up being some miniature supernova. We don't really know, but the fact that it was able to make a massive explosion that potentially raised the water level across the entire world, at least that's the connection that I believe we're supposed to be drawing from this. It could potentially be around planet level or maybe below somewhere. I'm sure someone has calculated that before. And I'm also sure the Mother Flame will be used for much higher tier feats later on. But then lastly, there's the moon explosion from, I guess, honestly, the moon explosion panel of the flashback, that could be during the Void Century. Very possible. That's not the point. This explosion is another thing we can use for reason that why Luffy is planet level. While the moon explosion is definitely the least powerful of the feats that I've mentioned in this video. A major point of power scaling is just proving that this level of power, any level of power, does exist. Because if someone says X character is the strongest person in the world, and if there's a random statement 200 chapters before in some off-screen news article that someone's reading casually, and it says that someone destroyed a continent with a single blast, well, regardless of every other feat we've seen being low tier or whatever, if that is to be true, then the character who is the strongest in the world should scale to that. It is just proving that that level of power does exist half the time. So if Toon Force is the only logic behind Luffy being planet level, then that's false. I will not believe it. I cannot believe it. It's wrong. But throw in any mix of these other characters and feats to justify it, and you basically have yourself gold. Now, personally, I think there is very little evidence to suggest Luffy is planet level. I know that the Versus Wiki has calculated his Bajrang gun to be 1.1 zetatons of TNT. I don't know if I buy that at all. Now, I will absolutely buy him being moon level, even large moon level. In fact, there's a feat that I've been holding back on that I'm not going to tell you here, but it is in the upper hundreds of exatons of TNT. And that's a feat that I guess does justify the 1.1 zetatons, but 1.1 zettaton isn't, it's small planet level. I think that's the term, small planet level. I hate these terms, just give me a number. So, no, I don't think Gear 5th could destroy planet Earth. He definitely can't destroy the world of One Piece, because that's a planet much larger than our own, and our own is the only one we have to reference. But for me to actually be fully on board with any of these calculations of him being in the Zetaton range, we just need more high-tier feats that are undeniably canon. That being said, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time. Remember to stay spectacular. JoJo out. Bye-bye.